Hey, Chibi. Hey, Dandy. Hey, Flop. Hey, Elaine. Hey, Atman. Hey, Brooke. Hey, Shoddy. Actually, never mind, Shoddy. Who am I voting for? So, if I'm able to vote, hey, Crystal. It is not Pokemon now. So, yeah, if I'm able to vote, it'll be probably the NDP. I'll need to check if I'll be able to because I don't actually have ID with my address. Like that's the main thing I'm gonna need to look at. The NDP candidate? I'm not even sure. Hey, porch lady. Hey, Ham. Hey, Keefster. Hey, situation. Yeah, I mean, hey, Kitten Star. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like the Liberal Party, like as a political party. That's a Ben Shapiro. He's a douche. Bill. Um, I don't have bills. The homophobic dog. I mean, I know what the NDP party generally stands for. Flop. Hey, Fernanda. So, like, I'm fine voting for the NDP as a party because I know more or less what they're going to stand for. 40-hour work week being the norm. It should be smaller. It should be shorter. I do online billing. All my stuff is online. Do I work out? Hell no. Chantel blocked you. You probably deserved it. Thanks, Sophia. Hello. I do actually have a Switch, Kalonzo. I just never play it. I should. I just never play it. Why don't I work out? Because I'm really lazy. Hey, Aaron. Welcome. Bob, I did not. I never bothered with an OC now. Hey, Cat Voice. Hey, Tizzy. Hey, Piss and Vinegar. Am I good at saving money? Sometimes. Do I think Johnny Depp is cute? Um, less so now. The Rage by Stephen King. Cool. Hey, Stacked. And yeah, that's what I'm going for. Favorite hentai? I don't think I have a favorite hentai. Would I date Johnny Depp? I'm not attracted to men. I'm not interested in men, so no. Even beyond that, I don't know. I get a weird vibe from Johnny Depp. Would I ever go vegetarian? Hell no. He's sus. Yeah. Do I think Dandy is cute? I've never looked at Dandy's photo actually. My favorite flavor chips? Salt and vinegar. No, Carl Sagan's boner. That is a bullshit idea. First of all, I really don't think that. Hey, NASA Jen. I really don't think that there's any real number of parents who would rather their kid be trans than gay. I think the vast majority of parents to trans children recognize that being gay is probably easier than being trans right now. Um, yes, I did shower today, Julia. Hi, bitch. Hi, Chantal. Hi. Hello, Chantal. Hello, any of Chantal's viewers who are seeing this. Brittany Griner being with. Yeah, I've seen a little bit about that, and no girls allowed. uh, you're okay. You're okay to stay if you want, Chantal. Hey, Kit Kat. Yeah. So Griner. Um, I kind of have. I kind of feel like I don't know. I kind of feel like if she were white, she'd probably be back in the U.S. by now. Hey, Nashi. Hey, infiltrators. So yeah, it's just I don't know. But yeah, it's I mean it's one of those things like there's doesn't feel like there's been that much talk about it. Like I don't see it mentioned on Twitter very often. I guess because she's a women's basketball player and people really don't care about women's basketball clearly. Yeah, it's hey Mad Pooper. Coke Zero. No, I'm actually streaming on what was it? Chrome. Yeah, I'm streaming or Microsoft Edge. I'm streaming on Microsoft Edge browser. So it seems to be a problem with Firefox. Just can't connect to YouTube properly. Whatever, Breakfast Club. What countries would I like to visit? I want to get back to Scotland. I'd love to visit Greece. I want to visit Japan for the Ghibli theme park and Ghibli Museum. And I'd like to New York City. No, my shirt's not dusty. Wanted to go to Scotland. As a kid, I went to Scotland a few times when I was a kid because my mom's from there. She's still got family there. So it's not. It's just the color of the shirt. I think between the color of the shirt and the way the light reflects off it. Yeah. North Korea is supposedly beautiful this time of year. I'm sure it is. Like I'm sure North Korea is a lovely country. Just it's got a pretty big, it's got one pretty huge problem. I do not have an Amazon wish list. I have a Barnes and Noble wish list. Wild Wolves of Scotland. Nice. Yay. Yay for that. Sophia, I don't like eggs at all. Aside from the starvation dictator. Yeah. Yeah, the country geographically, North Korea is probably a lovely country. Just in terms of like, lovely nature and all that. It's just got a horrible dictator. What I think of the Netflix Cowboy Bebop, it was terrible. It was a bad show. It was a bad show and a worse adaptation. It's pretty banana. I'd never want to go. Yeah, same here, Sophia. I wouldn't want to go to North Korea. How do I feel about murder stuff? Usually not a fan. Occasionally it's maybe a little bit okay. Get some new Waller. I mean, I have some stuff that I haven't hung up yet. Hey, West Coast lass. Yeah, I mean, I do have some art that I haven't hung up. It's just I don't have a way to hang it up right now. Plus, like, yes, that is Fluttershy. It is Fluttershy, Bob Roosman. Do I eat toast? Not really. I used to like cinnamon toast. Show Fluttershy. All right, if you want to see Fluttershy, I can show Fluttershy. Fluttershy. What TV shows am I watching? Only TV show I'm watching right now is still Star Trek: Next Generation. I am still making my way through that. Other shows that I should watch, but there's plenty of shows that I want to watch. It's just I never make time for them. Worst Marvel character created? NFL Super Pro. Like honestly, I don't think I even have to think about it. NFL Super Pro. I am on season 6. Most of the way through season 6. Favorite dessert is carrot cake. Yeah, I've never been to a PonyCon. Yeah, for those who have never heard of NFL Super Pro, uh, it was a character made, hey, Strawberry, made like in association with NFL. He was an actual superhero, Spider-Man. Like they had Spider-Man cameo in his first issue, so it was a real superhero comic. Hey, Spider Rico. Uh, the writer Fabian Nicieza admitted that he only wrote the comic for free football tickets. Like, do you know how bad a comic has to be for a writer to admit that they were funny? Like when somebody who makes a comic admits that their comic is shit and that they didn't give a shit about it at any point, that is rare. Hey, Strawberry. I'm okay. How are you? Have I ever had murder thoughts? Sure. Yeah, like writers never admit that they half-assed a comic. Nicieza didn't even half-ass it, frankly. He just put in the minimal amount of effort required. I prefer Sprite to Seven Up, but Seven Up is what the place had. More boyfriend dungeon. I do want to I do want to get back to that strawberry. Resident Evil, no, not my type of game. Does Canada have food stamps? I think so. Talked to my parents about starting hormone blockers, like I said, and they granted me for a month. Yeah, I mean, thanks, Hoshiko. Could I ever act on my murder thoughts? No. Yeah, I mean it's tough. Um, I don't really, I don't really know what kind of advice to offer. Elaine, well, puberty blockers. Puberty blockers is what honestly is talking about. Boner, I take showers. Chantel does not need to be worried about my murder thoughts. Anime too. I haven't seen enough anime to do a tier list like that. There is what's puberty blocker? It's exactly what it sounds like. It's uh it's a medicine that um delays the body from going into puberty. Elaine, maybe. Violent J's heart failure. I don't know who Violent J is, but heart failure is always tragic. I think it's racist Japanese women. I mean, there are plenty of Japanese women who do find white men attractive. The butthole day of the week. You're not right. You're not wrong, Emrai. Hey, Reek. There's a couple of anime movies I do want to watch. Uh, there's one on Crave TV, the Crave website. Um, Miss Hokkaido, I think it's called. Kiki's Delivery Service. I love Kiki's Delivery Service. And DER. I do want to get a job. It's just it's hard to get up the effort to look. But yeah, so I think it's called Miss Hokkaido, which is about a biographical film. It's about a real woman. Um, she was the daughter of a famous painter, and she was an extremely talented painter herself. But she was sort of overshadowed by her father. So that's on Crave, and I heard about that movie years ago, and it looked interesting. She does tend to come back, Elaine. So yeah, I want to watch that one, and saw a recommendation for a movie called Red Line. I don't even know who Gordon Flowers is, Eddie. Yeah, someone that I follow on Twitter was talking about a movie called Red Line, and it looked really good. Um, Gordon Ramsay, I don't really watch cooking shows, but Red Line is a racing film, racing movie, but like completely over the top. So that looks really fun. So I wanted to watch that one. What I had KFC for dinner, Julia. Kitchen nightmares, nah, pass. Hey, Tommy Versetti. Oh, and also, what was it? Penguin Highway. I want to watch Penguin Highway. That's another one where I saw like a clip of that one that looked absolutely wild. Zoom into my pupils. Is that better, Layla? Popeyes? I've had Popeyes. I did not. I was not impressed by their chicken. I was not impressed by Popeyes. Just order shitty fast food. Olive, people can call me whatever they want. Moving out, no plans to move out. Do I like Warren's accent? Whatever. Not really about cooking. It's just about horrible restaurants and Gordon yelling at it. Yeah, and that's not something that I'm interested in. You know, somebody just like like a real life people yelling at each other. It's just I don't know. I just feel like I think what it is, I don't enjoy reality TV shows because they really push up the drama in a way that I don't enjoy. Dandy, I've never had a Nelson Mandela poster. Dandy. Drama equals biz. I know, and it's just I don't I don't like that. Valentin cutting hair again. Yeah, at some point. Layla, not as much as I should. Yeah, I mean it's like that's also why I can't watch shows like American Idol or shit like that. Canadian, weirdly enough, Canadian reality TV seems to be different from that. Like Canada's worst driver. Like Canada's worst driver doesn't do pointless drama. And in fact, there was one season of Canada's Top Driver where, or Canada's Worst Driver, I mean, Canada's Worst Driver, where one of the contestants had clear mental health issues. So the producers removed her from the show to send her to get help. You know, she would have been great ratings, but the producers were like, no, that's no. I closed my case. I had to start all over to get a therapist. And I just, Chantel, not sure. Chantel is nowhere near one of Canada's worst drivers. Chantel's a fine driver. Bates Motel, nah. Nah, didn't watch that. Bye, Tommy. Leon Tate. Yeah, I think I've seen indications of that. Yeah, U.S. reality TV is just ridiculous. Frank and Chantel. Uh, I don't know. I'm not much of a prankster. UK reality TV is horrible as well. Yeah, I can believe it. What are we talking about? Just whatever I feel like. Chibi, I don't take baths or do moisturizing. Not doing a chi ball, Eddie. Moisturize. I know. It's just I don't feel like it. I don't want to moisturize. Do I like candles? Not really. Gotta keep that frenulum moist. Am I gonna cut my hair at some point? Yes. Juicy. I don't have dance moves. I dance like an awkward white man. Hey, Houston. Ears? No, no piercings. I have no interest in getting any piercings. Her bean? Yeah, that. No. The foxtrot? No. No, like I said, I can't do any dances. That's a Jimbo boy. I don't know what that means. Invent your own dance? Pass. Going out for fireworks? What fireworks? Am I a fan of DSP? No. Never woken myself up with a loud fart. I did wake myself up laughing once. Um, the online handful of Buffalo Shooter. Yeah, that guy's an asshole. Victoria Day coming up. Yep, I'm aware. Yeah. I remember there was one time, a long time ago. Uh, I do not like sports. I was having a dream that I was hanging out, or that I was hanging out with some friends, and we were trying to decide what to do. And we thought maybe a board game. And in my dream, uh, I suggested we. I was trying to suggest that we play Monopoly, but it came out as Monopoly. And in my dream, I thought that was the funniest goddamn thing ever. Uh, I laughed so hard in my dream that I actually woke up laughing. Do I like dogs? I'm scared of dogs. Kind of puppy do I want? Kitten. Can't ever. I almost never remember my dreams. Like, almost never. I actually don't listen to any K-pop. Boner. Cheese fries, not my thing. NFTs. NFTs are a scam. NFTs are a pyramid scheme. Not some, not to the best of my knowledge, Eddie. Okay, music to listen to. I listen to a lot of indie shit, a lot of indie rock. Do I invest? With what money? Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people got fucked over by NFTs. It's like I don't feel bad for the people who lost a ton of money investing in NFTs. I don't feel bad of the for those people because they were told all along. They were told from the beginning that NFTs were a scam, that they were a pyramid scheme, and they went ahead and invested it anyway. So I don't really feel bad for those people. I feel bad for the families. I feel bad for the people whose lives were ruined because of somebody they were associated with who invested in NFTs. You know, the spouse who might lose their home, the children whose college fund is entirely gone. I feel bad for the families, the idiots who were told all along, no, this is a scam and bad for the environment. Sam, because none of the bands I like come to Ottawa. Eddie, I don't like chili. How's it bad for the environment? Because it takes a lot of energy. Cryptocurrency in general takes a lot of energy, and NFTs specifically. Um, so yeah, it just they've got a large fossil footprint. Cans of Coke, I don't really do crushes. Should crypto be banned? I mean, probably. Hi, Faith. Wendy's chili is good. I just don't like chili. I've never liked chili. The beans. I don't like beans. Would I ever throw away a DoorDash salad? Yes. If I had a salad delivered to me, I would throw that shit right back. That's on U.S. being number one for mass murders and what happened in Buffalo, New York. Yeah. White supremacy is the greatest terrorist threat facing the United States. The inflation in America, how are you affecting Canada? Um, it definitely affects Canada as well. I don't think it's too bad. Wait, race in survival mode. Fucking nonsense. Lady Leia, I don't. I do see George the Cat tweet about the new labor, uh, new union efforts across the U.S. And I really wish that they would be picked up in Canada. When have investing skills been made? Because I don't have money. Is the NFL racist? Well, yes. I mean, shit. How long did it take the Washington football team to change its name? Is the NHL racist? Probably. Yeah. Oh shit. I'm blanking on the guy's name. Black hockey player. Uh, he got like fucking bananas thrown at him. Icky, no, it's racist. That team name is racist. Join your fantasy football league. I don't know anything about football. Because icky, it's a slur against Native Americans. Like that's where the term comes from, is used as a slur against Native Americans. Hey, Donkaberry. Icky, yeah. Frankly, I doubt that statistic. I'm guessing that was, yeah. David Duke left the KKK and is not a racist anymore. Sure, he's not. Look, Native Americans protested that team name for decades. It was fucking racist. How would you? Because I heard, because I remember as a fucking kid, when I was a fucking child, I heard about fucking Native Americans protesting the Washington football team's name. Among the names of other sports teams. I heard about that shit as a fucking kid. Like 25 fucking years ago, I was hearing about that shit. And if I was hearing about that shit, you can bet that it was happening because it was particularly loud. Yeah, Schumer. Low number of NFL players who have committed as gay. I mean, I don't know. Should the Vikings be renamed? I mean, I don't feel like there's any Vikings to complain about it. Fighting Irish? I don't know. Vikings don't even fucking exist anymore. No, I didn't watch The Eclipse. I do not, James. They're not Vikings, Schumer. They're like Nordic. Vikings were like raiders. They haven't been Vikings in they haven't been called Vikings in hundreds of years. Russian servitors. True. Do I have a plan for the rest of the year? I never do. I never have any plans. My favorite X Man is Kate Pride. As far as the Channing Tatum Gambit movie, that looks like it's just not happening, which is a shame. It would have been a terrible movie, but Channing Tatum worked so hard to get it done, and I'm sad on his behalf that it's not happening. Honestly, I watched the first season of Legion and really enjoyed it. I have not seen Vinland Saga. I've heard good things. Spiraling? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what they mean by that. Yeah, I haven't watched Berserk. I'm not a weeb, Ellen. I've never claimed to be a weeb. Why am I not vegan? Because I like meat. Chibi. I mean, if you're enjoying the show, keep watching it until you stop enjoying it. Is how I would what I would recommend. What will I do if Chantel moves out? Die on the street, I guess. Never played Dead by Daylight. Jesse Smollett should have gotten longer in prison. Maybe. I don't know. He's a celebrity. Surprising that he got any prison time. Not being manipulative, Shannon. Greatest story never told. Nope, haven't watched that. Laura, I do not. Here, Boone is planning to run for president once again. What a shock! And I'm sure it'll be a completely fair and open election. And Putin's victory will be completely valid. Yeah. Doesn't run for president. He just simply just gets elected. Yep, exactly. Hey, Tanea. Most of his competitors tend to get sick. Yeah, it's weird coincidences there. Lady Leia? In the US, election fraud is a non issue. In Russia and other dictatorships, it's hard to even call it fraud. It's just, they're dictators. They simply declare themselves the winners. Like, it's hard to even call it fraud at that point. Cute face. I mean, yeah, I mean, the US is rigged rigged in favor of a two-party system, for sure. I mean, I think that I think that incumbents tend to work to rig the system in their own favor. But I think Republicans rig it so much harder than uh, than Democrats do. No, quitting my job was not a mistake. I needed to. Like, I couldn't work that job anymore. I can't work customer service anymore. Gerrymandering is certainly a bipartisan thing, but again, Republicans, I do feel like Republicans are more blatant in their gerrymandering. I was just completely guessing tonight. Genuinely just a guess. Shannon? Well, no, I mean that's parliamentary politics. That's just how parliamentary politics works. Or it's how the parliamentary system works. No Schumer, but arranging voting, arranging congressional districts in such a way as to basically, I mean, like with gerrymandering, it'll a district will be like the shapes will make absolutely no sense. Like the thing is, congressional districts should be drawn up by a nonpartisan group. Like drawn in such a way that major cities in my district. Yeah. I mean that it's definitely not the right way of doing it. Like it's hi to Ryuk's dog. Yeah, I'm aware, Leia. Like I said, congressional districts should just be drawn up by a nonpartisan group who are going solely by population uh, numbers, like without using any other sort of demographic information. Well, yes, they don't exist because the parties want to make it set up to guarantee their own victories. Bye, Dervish. I don't even know who Jim Sterling is, Laura. Something. Yeah, because the current system is so fucking perfect, Icky. Fuck off. Like, it should be drawn up by, like, there should be an independent, nonpartisan group who uses population data to determine, to draw up congressional districts without access to any other sort of demographic information. Yeah, gerrymandering is a shit issue for both sides. You're a fucking idiot, Icky. Like, are you actually this fucking clueless, or are you just a liar? What I'm saying is that a group should exist. I know that the US doesn't have a system like that right now. I know the US doesn't have uh, an independent committee to do it right now. What I'm saying is it should. It's something that could exist, should exist. Do you understand what I'm saying when I say that it should exist? Or are you just being, why is it why is it impossible to just say, to just develop that group? Why is it impossible to develop that committee? Explain to me why it is completely, totally, absolutely 100% impossible for an independent committee to draw up congressional districts. Explain why that can't be done. Like I mean, I know why it can't be done. It can't be done because the two-party system doesn't want that to exist. But if you get past the parties being fucking greedy ass assholes, then you can just, hey, here's population data. Here's how many people live in these areas. Draw up a district. Like, it's just, how do you keep it impartial? Like I said, you don't give them demographic data. You don't give them information on the race and income and all that shit of the people living in the states. You just say, here's where people live. Boom, easy. Piece of cake. Like, it's just, they have computer systems to draw their districts. Yeah, exactly. Like, absolutely. You just get a fucking computer system to do it. And I mean, that's why demographic information is, like, that's why the census is done, Flopera. or part of it. Like, that's one reason why the census is done. But census information doesn't have to actually like all the information that's gathered as part of the census doesn't have to be taken into consideration when drawing up a congressional district. Google's AI became racist. Yeah. Schumer. Right, but I mean, it's just like the idea that it's this insurmountable fucking problem to just the idea that it's an insurmountable problem to not have congressional districts that are like that are down to the fucking house, that are like where like one side of a street will belong to one congressional district on the other fucking side of the city. Like, they'll have like congressional districts, they'll have people from one side of the city in the same district as people on the completely other side of the city because of the way it's designed to just get the maximum number of to just really really dial down to the fucking house. It's ridiculous. As for the electoral college, yeah, the electoral college sucks. The electoral college should be disbanded. Can't be done. Not with that attitude, Icky. I know what gerrymandering is, Mango, you fucking douche. It's not even a fucking complicated, like, gerrymandering isn't even a fucking complicated idea. Anyone can be bad. Fuck off, Icky. You fucking. You. Fine, Icky. Keep licking those fucking boots. Keep pretending that your electoral system isn't an absolute fucking joke. Keep pretending that the congressional districts make even the tiniest fucking lick of sense. That it's not power hungry politicians just guaranteeing their own wins by choosing their voters. You're a fucking idiot, Icky. It would be so fucking easy. It would be so goddamn easy to fix if there was any political will to do it. If there was the tiniest fucking shred of political will to actually fix the US election system, gerrymandering would be the easiest goddamn thing in the world to do away with. It would be so simple. It absolutely would be simple because it absolutely does come down to just giving just population data. This is how many people live in this state. Do the district. Do it in a way that's just like doop 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 doop. Make it as like just as straightforward a geometric shape as possible. Fucking nonsense saying that it can't be done. Fuck you. The only reason it can't be done is because both parties don't want to do it. They don't want to do it, and that's the only reason it doesn't happen. Fuck off with your spamming, Isaac. I don't even fucking care anymore, Icky. Fine. Fine. It can't be done, so give up and just accept that the system is shitty and can never, ever, 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 ever be changed. That there's absolutely no better way of doing it. Just, yeah, fuck off. Fucking nonsense. So fucking ridiculous. Like I said, it comes down 100% to political will. And honestly, like, if people started contacting their representatives and saying, hey, you should change this, politician, it wouldn't be up to politicians. It's not like, that's the point. The politicians aren't the ones, shouldn't be the ones. Politicians should not be deciding who gets to vote for them. Should I get my nails done? Yeah, why not? Like I said, it's just, yeah, it is hard to call representatives. Hey, Tammy. Sam? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I have not read Dust Capital. Shouldn't become a millionaire in public service. Absolutely, I agree with that. 100%. I agree that someone in public service should not end up becoming a millionaire after entering. Schumer. I've said this before. The fact that Justin Trudeau did blackface as an adult indicates an alarming lack of foresight from him. It was a really terrible failure of thought, and it makes me, you know, I don't like Justin Trudeau. Would make America better. I mean, like I said, just some major changes to the electoral system. Just got my bachelor's. Yeah, nothing that can be done. Yeah, it's like I said, it's a matter of political will, and there's just absolutely no political will to change the system to make it more egalitarian. That's in Australia's federal election. I haven't really looked up it. I haven't really looked anything up about it. Um, I guess my thought is that I hope that Australia's alt right doesn't win, because the alt right worldwide has been making big pushes in recent years. I mean, a part of it is just because Australian politics aren't going to have as big a or events in Australia are not going to have as big an impact on Canada as events in the US. Thoughts on the Kids in the Hall? I was unaware that they did that. I haven't watched it. It's on. I mean, it's on Prime Video. It's on Amazon, so I can't watch it. So yeah, I can't watch the new Kids in the Hall, unfortunately. Go lift and get big. Angry. Yes, I know how to torrent things. Ben Shapiro, he's a douche. Leia, the alt left isn't doing mass shootings. The alt left didn't just go. It wasn't an alt left person who just went to Buffalo and shot up a black supermarket. The alt right are terrorists. He should like the white people were collateral damage as far as he was concerned. Like he was there to kill black people. That's why he was there. He went to that. He drove to Buffalo specifically to kill black people. That was what he. That's what his goal. Yes, a couple of white people got shot, but they were not his target. He was not there to shoot white people. He specifically and explicitly wanted to shoot black people. He apologized for shooting one white guy. Yeah, yeah, I read about that. That he apologized when he was shoot to a white person that he aimed a gun at. He wasn't mentally ill. He was a fascist. He was a white supremacist. He wasn't mentally ill. He was a white supremacist. He knew what he was doing. He knew full well what he was doing. And it's not like he's the only one who's done it. There's been a lot of white supremacists who've gone and murdered people. There was that shooting at a black church a couple of years ago, and there's been plenty of other examples. People want to every time a white person kills people, uh they want the people want to say, oh, he's mentally ill. He was mentally ill. Nah, he's a white supremacist. It's a way of avoiding acknowledgement that white supremacism even fucking exists. It's a way of saying, oh, no, white people, there's nothing wrong with white people. White supremacy, that's not actually an issue. White supremacy, that's not a thing that's happening. White supremacy is not a serious issue. It's a way of trying to avoid acknowledging that. It's a way of, buy a knife. He wasn't mentally ill. He knew what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. And the reality is that blaming mental illness is bullshit. The mentally ill are vastly more likely to be victims of violence than to actually commit violence. And yet, every time a white person goes out and kills people, the immediate reaction from a portion of the population is to start going, mental illness, it's mental illness. Not that they'll ever actually do anything to address mental illness. They'll never actually do anything to address mental health. Like, they will never, like, the people who are out there saying that this is a mental health issue will never, ever, ever, ever actually do anything to address mental health issues. Like, they're never going to, the Republicans aren't going to put funding towards mental health support. Never. The Republicans will never fund mental health support at all. Frankly, they are actually completely okay with mass shootings. So, like, it's mental health. It's just a bullshit avoidance of the actual issues by demonizing people with mental health issues. It's a way of demonizing those with mental health issues while actually giving a pass to fucking white supremacists. Why can't he be mentally ill? Because he knew what he was doing. He apologized to one of the white people that he was about to shoot. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't mentally ill. He made a conscious decision to drive an hour from where he lived, to drive to a predominantly black neighborhood and kill people. That's not mental illness. That's premeditated. It was premeditated. He also had a journal on his mind. Yeah, exactly. It was a premeditated action based on his belief in white replacement theory. He, like, blaming mental health. No, it wasn't mental health. He didn't shoot people because he was mentally ill. He shot people because he's a white supremacist. Address the fucking white supremacists or supremacism. That's the thing that needs to be addressed. Like, never mind. Like, how do you stop white supremacy? By calling it out. White supremacism is the belief that white people are superior. French Toast, doing great down and prospering here in Florida. Figured to kick you some money. Thank you very much, French Toast. No, white supremacy isn't a mental illness. Majority of white supremacists do not actively murder. But yeah, like the issue that needs to be addressed is the white supremacism. Beryl, at this point, I would not blame black people and Asian people and Latin people. I would not blame people of color for being suspicious of all white people at this point. And the other thing, if we're going to pretend that this is a mental health issue, then are you going to support politicians who favor policies that will increase funding for mental health support? If you're going to blame the mentally ill for violence, are you going to favor your tax money going towards helping those people? Or are you just going to continue letting the mentally ill suffer in silence? And fuck you, Verity. Gives a shit about what's happening to the white population, Nikki. It doesn't fucking matter. How do I think the world will end? I mean, depends. Are we talking how humanity will end? Because the planet will end when the sun goes supernova. That's how the world will end. How humanity will end? Could come down to any number of things. Yeah, fuck you, Barrel. Sun is too small for supernova. Okay. Well, when the sun explodes or implodes or whatever, regardless, it'll be a few billion years before the world ends. Humanity could go out any number of ways. Nuclear warfare? Hard to tell. Hey, Vanessa. My shirt does not have sweat stains. Yeah, I will govern humanity one day. And it'll govern it poorly. It's worth remembering that, like, a computer is only good as it's programmed to be. So, if an AI ever takes over humanity, it's going to be, frankly, a really bad. It's going to do a really bad job. AI is perfect unbiased being. Not that I'm aware of. Denise, yeah. Yeah, I'm really enjoying Strange New World so far. Actually, Donald, what actually happens is facial recognition systems actually have trouble seeing black people at all. Yeah, it's a fun thing. It's true. They actually do because they're designed by white people. Like facial recognition systems are almost always designed by white people, so they don't actually factor in black skin color. Like I know, for example, uh, those soap dispensers where you just like push your hand under it and soap comes out. Uh, there was there were problems where it couldn't read black skin. Like if a black person put their hand under one of those soap dispensers, the soap wouldn't come out. Even so, Heather, it like that actually happened. And no, it wasn't based on movement. No, it was specifically designed to read, something under it. But no, like there were cases where soap dispensers literally didn't know that a black hand was underneath it. And it was just like and it was one of those things where it was just the people who designed that who designed the system just never actually tested it with a black person. I can find. Give me a second. So yeah, it was a video from a few. Like it was a thing from a couple of years ago. It was a thing from a few years ago. It was a video from a few years back. But oh wow, fuck you too, eh? Hey, ageless. So yeah, like it's like it was a real story. What should I weigh? About 200 pounds. So yeah, the video was from about 5 years back, but what fucking source do you want? Like, fuck you, Vicky. It's a perfectly reasonable website. Christ. Like, I'm positive, Icky, that there is literally no website, no source that I could link. Absolutely nothing. No link at all that I could ever provide that you would actually accept. I am quite positive that no source, none of them, would ever be good enough for you. You would always, always say, oh no, that source doesn't work. That's not a good source. That's a bad source. Oh, you're going to trust that source? No. You're going to trust them? No, that's not, no. Not once I posted the fucking link. And no, it wasn't the first Google link, and I did browse through the article to make sure that it. Like, icky, like. Fine. Newspaper? Fine. Fucking fine, Icky. Fucking. What the fuck ever. Does the Evening Standard fucking work for you? Does fucking Metro work for you? By the way, all of them linked to the same fucking video. Let's see, where else? What else? What else? Here's one from the Washington Examiner from last year. So apparently it's something that still happens. Oops, no, that was what to do. New statement? Is that okay, Ricky? Like, let me know when any of these sources fucking satisfy you. You fucking contrarian piece of shit. You contrarian douchebag. If you're not satisfied with any of these, then I no longer fucking care and you can just fuck off and get the fuck out of here. Like, honestly, if you're not satisfied with any of these sources, then at this point, leave my fucking chat because I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you being a contrarian prick at this point. You're just being a contrarian fucking troll, and I am goddamn tired of it. Because no matter what I say, there's literally nothing I can say ever about any topic that you won't immediately jump to say that I'm wrong. You will disagree with me on everything I say. And I am getting fucking tired of it. Fine, I was wrong about the supernova. Fine. I'm not a I'm not a scientist. That was me going off the top of my head. When it goes nova or supernova or implodes or explodes or whatever the hell the sun does when it dies. I was saying that when the sun dies, then. Denise, I am still going by James for now. Fuck you, Weimar. I don't even fucking give a shit about this anymore, Icky. Possible solution? I mean, gun control. Like, honestly, the US needs better gun laws. Um, there's just watch the fucking video that is in literally every single one of those links. It was a fucking engineering student doing a fucking making a goddamn video showing it. Watch the fucking video and then go the hell away. Favorite prostate massager? Never tried any. That's bullshit, Sneed. It's not a mental health issue at all. Yeah, get the hell out, Icky. You're not blocked, Sunny D. Will I ever shave? Yes, I will. There are mentally ill people all around the world, Emma. The U.S. is unique in terms of the U.S. is unique in its number of mass shootings, and like the big the biggest difference between the U.S. and any other country is the gun laws. That's the thing that's different. Yeah, there's mental health issues all around the world, but there aren't daily mass shootings all around the world. The US has the near daily mass shootings, unique out of the world. 2016 Nice truck attack. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. There are still people who manage to kill a bunch of people, but the U.S. is unique in mass shootings. So, like, the way to fix it is stricter gun laws. And by the way, for the record, I'm not even saying ban all guns. What defines a mass shooting? I believe it's an event where at least 4 people are shot or something like that. I forget the actual strict definition. But yeah, it's an event where somebody shoots a whole bunch of people. Yeah, I mean, Canada has guns. Like, we have guns in Canada. We're a big hunting country. Canadians love hunting. So we've got plenty of guns. What we don't have is mass shootings. Guns don't kill people. Right. People with guns kill people. People with guns that are able to put out a whole lot of ammunition uh, in a very short time kill more people. Canada has happens. Yes, but a mass stabbing, like, it's a lot harder to get a high body count in a mass stabbing. Would be like the thing I would note, Imar. Like, you're probably not going to get a high body count that way. You'll still get murders. You might even still get people who manage to kill a bunch of people. Stealth kill everyone pretty easy. Funnily enough, it's actually surprisingly hard to kill somebody with a knife. Isn't VTech the highest count? Not totally sure. Good night, NASA Jen. Yes, murders will still happen. But like I said, it's less common than a mass shooting. Right, MR, but my point is guns make it easier to kill a whole bunch of people. Yes, you're still going to have people committing violence, even if guns, long before guns existed, people were killing each other. But a gun makes it a lot easier to kill a large number of people in a short amount of time. They absolutely do. Again, MR, it's a lot harder to kill a bunch of people with a knife. Knives are less effective at killing than a gun is. And they corrupt cops and armed private security for the rich. I mean, corrupt cops is pretty much a regular thing. For a second, Amar, I thought you said a car, a tank. But again, like, but here's the thing, Amar. People generally, I mean, there are some definite limits to using a vehicle as a murder weapon. Imar, sorry, Imar. There are a lot more. Like, there are a lot more limits on, or not limits, but limitations. There are a lot more limitations when using a vehicle as a weapon of murder. More people die in car crashes. Well, yeah. But yes. And we still don't have nearly the number of murders per capita. We still don't have nearly the number of murders per capita than the US does. The US has more murders per capita than anywhere else. It's not how it fucking works. I was saying per capita. That means per person. So, like, for every 100,000 people, in the US, or for every 100, or not, sorry, yeah, for every 100,000 people, the US has more of them die than anywhere else. Zara Graham, thoughts on Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial? My thought is I don't actually care. US more multicultural? Canada is extremely multicultural. But yeah, so like for every 100,000 people, the US has more murders within that group than anywhere else. And the thing is, like, when we talk about per capita, that means that it, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It scales with population. So statistically speaking, if Canada had the same population, if Canada had the same population as the US, we would still have fewer murders. And again, that all comes down to the gun laws. Those things. All right. Murder rates by country. World Population Review. That's a pretty reputable site. Okay, so the site I'm finding has the site I found quickly is for use numbers for 2017. Yeah, so this is for 2017. So obviously we don't know if it's hard to know if the rates have changed in the past 5 years. But in 2017, US ranked fourth in murder rate. World Population Review. I believe that site is, at least I thought it was. Give me a second. I could have sworn I've seen this site before and that it was could be wrong. It's a pretty I will say this website is not a particularly well designed website. I mean, It's functional. It's just kind of ugly. Oh, whoops. Actually, sorry. U.S. Virgin Islands were ranked fourth. Give me a second here. U.S. as a whole not actually on this list. Sorry, I'm missing your chats right now, everybody. I'm just looking at this website. Okay. So pretty reasonably far down the list, actually. I will say you don't want to, El Salvador seems to be the most dangerous country to live in. Yeah, as of 2018, U.S. had a homicide rate of 4.96, which is still definitely on the high side. Where is Canada on here? Canada, for the record, had a murder rate in 2018 of 1.76. So Roe v. Wade. I am against the repeal of Roe v. Wade. Canada has more moose attacks than mass shootings. Probably. We probably have more mass moose killings. You do not want to mess with moose. They are not to be trifled with. Yeah, yeah, I've heard about shit like that. Canada's historical treatment of First Nations and Indigenous people has always been horrible. Yeah, geese. Yeah, geese are absolutely assholes, Boomer. Don't fuck with geese either. They are total assholes. I'm not ignoring anything, Imar. I'm pointing out that the US has a higher murder rate than most other so-called first world countries. Saskatoon. Yep. Yeah, I'm aware of that, Imar. Like, I am not at all denying that Canada has some some shitty history, and I am not denying that Canada still has murders. Of course we do. Absolutely we do. But Canada founded on racism? Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, it was founded on racism. But the US has a higher murder rate than almost any other First Nation First Nation country. Significantly higher. Like a significantly higher murder rate. Jim Sterling has lost over 10,000 subs. Thoughts? My thought is I don't know who Jim Sterling is, Dandy. But thank you. Yeah, that one have actually. Oh, I meant first world. Sorry. Good catch. Yeah, I meant first world nations. Because that is kind of a loaded term. But yeah. Good night, cans of Coke. Yeah, the US does have the first world tends to mean white countries, frankly. Venezuela's number one. Yeah. Developers developing. Yeah. Which is still kind of a loaded term. But yeah, the US has a uniquely high murder rate among developed nations. And the reason it has a uniquely high murder rate is because of the lax gun laws. And again, Imar, I'm not denying that that shit happens. What I am saying is that the US has a uniquely high murder rate among developed nations. No, it's not. Canada is plenty diverse. If you are right, James, then Canada's murder rate would be significantly higher than it is. If they wouldn't. I mean, frankly, I doubt that. Frankly, I doubt that it would have made much difference. Second of all, it wouldn't change the fact that the U.S. has a uniquely high murder rate, and the only thing, the biggest difference between Canada and the US is guns. That is the most significant difference between Canada and the US. Beyond that, I've seen your fucking comments, Need Feed, so shut the fuck up already. One more time, Sneed Feed, and I just block you. Blocked for spam. No, I don't do timeouts. I do straight up blocks. So yeah, it's yes, I am very happy about universal healthcare. Healthcare so. I have it. Yeah, whatever, mothball. Again, we're talking rates. We're not talking, like, I'm not talking about raw numbers. I'm talking about rates. Rates are not related to the overall population size. Heather, I don't think I did. You don't understand how rates work, PP. I'm not singing the anthem. It's not that I mean, the national anthem isn't racist itself. It's just, I don't sing. Will Canada take people who are fleeing the U.S. ban on abortion? I hope so. Good night, Tammy. Do I love maple syrup? Honestly, I don't enjoy real maple syrup. I find real maple syrup too sweet for me, for my tastes. Hi, Brandon. Americans are scared of our cold weather. Am I smarter than Russell Brand? I don't know. Would I debate him? No. Said a recovery house for transgender people. I don't have the resources for that. You have Alaska. Yeah, nobody lives there. You have Alaska and nobody lives there, and people only visit, and people never visit there. I've been to Victoria in Canada, but I lived there. Yeah, I've never been out to BC myself, but I've heard it. Like it, I've heard that it's beautiful. Ivana, I mean, when I'm made aware of things Chantel says, I do talk to her about it. Do I think Michael Jackson's in it? I don't know. I'm inclined to think no. Would he have come out or embraced the LGBTQ? Did he? That's a good question. Like, did Michael Jackson ever really? I feel like he must have, right? Like, I feel like Michael Jackson must have embraced the queer community, especially because he was so popular with them. Like, it's just, wouldn't he have? Like, I know that. Do I think he was trans? No. No, I do not think Michael Jackson was trans. Um, Transracial. Unintentionally, do I believe Kurt Cobain was trans? I think there is a strong argument to be made for it. Like, there's a really strong case arguing that Kurt Cobain was probably trans. Thoughts on D. Snyder? D. Snyder seems really cool. Because there's no real evidence of Michael Jackson ever talking about wanting to be a girl. Michael Jackson never really. Yeah, I don't believe Courtney killed him. No, I believe that it was a suicide. D. Snyder is D. Snyder now. Like, he seems like a pretty cool guy, from what I've heard about him. Admittedly, I haven't heard much about him. Ben Shapiro's douche. VL, as far as I know, I'm not aware of any Jewish heritage. I never had a problem with drinking. I just, aside from just not really enjoying it much. Okay, as a private person, he was a black man in those times. Yeah, but like I said, it's one of those things where we just don't have the evidence. Papers of my friend's mom when she was 15. Okay, that is pretty gross. Yeah, that's shitty of D. Snyder. Trans fat. Michael Jackson was definitely fucked up. Like, there's no question that he was fucked up. I have never drank vodka in my life. My thoughts on the monarchy? I'm against it. Down with the monarchy. The French had the right idea. Thoughts on Jordan Peterson? What a dumbass. Jordan Peterson's a dumbass. Like, a beautiful sound in his music. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. His music was you know, hugely important. I think the fact that Jordan Peterson's big idea of clean your room, like that's his big idea, and he then tried to spin that as this as a sign of him being this great genius intellectual when his big idea is clean your room. Every fucking parent has that idea. I have not watched any documentary about Kurt Cobain. Agoraphobic? Not really. Heather, yes. That's what I meant earlier when I said that Michael Jackson was definitely fucked up. There's a definite, he definitely didn't have a proper childhood, and not having a real childhood and definitely fucked him up in a way that when he was younger or like when he was older, he sort of tried to become a child again. Kurt Cobain grew up with my friend who's way grown to me. Yeah, like I said, I mean, there's like I said, arguments can be made. We'll never know because I mean, we'll never know if Kurt Cobain was actually trans because he killed himself. So we'll never actually know. But there's strong evidence. So he had a carnival in his backyard. I had a monkey. No pee pee. James, I'll pass on either of them. I love Kurt Cobain too. I pretty much grew up with, like, I grew up listening to Nirvana. I was listening to Nirvana. It's like I was listening to Nirvana at 6 years old. Of course, I love Nirvana. Not mentally. I mean, he had what? Not mentally. Of course he. Of course he was. He had serious drug issues. Hadn't he been in rehab? Like, hadn't he been to a hospital for like a suicide attempt like a week earlier? Or what was it like? Or like he had a drug overdose or something like that, like a week before he killed himself? Something like that. I don't remember the details, but like, yeah, definitely. Like Kurt Cobain had definite issues. He self-medicated because of stomach pains. Sure. Yeah, and I don't believe that Courtney Love murdered Kurt Cobain. I don't believe it. Courtney Love is a fucked up person. But even at the height of her fucked upness, I don't think that she would have been capable of murder. I don't think she was, you know, kill someone. She wasn't kill her husband fucked up. Do I think Marilyn Monroe was murdered? Probably. Kurt suffered heavily with heroin abuse, among other drugs and among other issues. Did Epstein kill himself? My thought on Epstein is that it was it was one of those mandatory suicides. You know, it is one of those things where it's like, yeah, too many powerful people. Like he knew too much about too many powerful people. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna. It's like, yeah, I'm not surviving. And killed him. Everyone killed him. Mandatory, yeah. Like it's like, He didn't really have much of a choice, I think. Not been Epstein partner crime. I don't remember. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, conservatives want to blame the Clintons because, of course, they do. But the fact is, there were a lot of people with close connections to Epstein. A lot of people who wouldn't want the extent of their connections with him to be known. And that was like both parties. Old samurai committing harakiri. Yeah, kinda. There were Hollywood stars, there were businessmen, there were politicians from both parties. So yeah, I mean, like I said, Prince Andrew, yeah, fucking royalty. Yes, I do like Living with Chantal. Jimmy Seville, he sucked. I do not shave her now. Will I shave my beard on stream? Probably not on stream. Paul Bernardo and Carla. Paul is still in prison. Um, Paul Bernardo is never getting out of prison. Like he's like it's he will die in prison. Carla Homolka, she is out of prison, and yeah, her life isn't going great. Uh, Basically, every time that people find her, because like people consistently find her. What is she doing right now? I want to see if I can find what the most recent update on her is. Uh, Seems to be living in Quebec right now. As of 2014, she's still living in Quebec. Okay, yeah. So 2016, um, parents con- expressed concern about her kids going to the same school as their kid. Um, Looks like as of 2020, she's living in Quebec on her own, without her husband or kids. I cannot speak French. Imar can't leave Canada. So yeah, she's changing her name at least twice. I can believe it. It's a pretty divorce. Doesn't say. The Wikipedia article doesn't say. Also, I just pulled up her article on Wikipedia because I didn't really feel like doing deep research. To be honest, uh, I was just curious what the most recent update on her is. So it doesn't say if she's separated or not. It just says that she's living without her husband and kids, which is just as well. Victim or co-perpetrator? Co-perpetrator, probably. I'm inclined to lean towards co-perpetrator. And while on a personal level, my personal feelings toward her is that I would have been just fine with her dying in prison as well. But from a more yeah, speaking from a sort of more of a political standpoint, I'm actually okay with her being released. Probably she's probably not a danger to anyone anymore. Um, so I'm okay with her being released. Am I pro death penalty? No, she's on the watch list. Rightly so. Absolutely deserves to be on a watch list for the rest of her life. Would be okay with her dead? Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Michaela. I will absolutely. I will not shed a single tear when she finally dies. Which we'll keep. This one is Kid Loki. I've actually also got President Loki over here. Gifts from my brother for Christmas. They were Christmas presents from my brother. Can I speak your social credit score? I don't know. Am I on a watch list? Who knows? If I am, then I if I am, then I hope I'm not being watched closely because whoever has to monitor me would be pretty bored. Denise, better than she deserves. She's doing better than she deserves for sure. But my brother hates me. I'm hard to shop for. Like I will say that I am hard to shop for. What about Justin Bieber? Yeah, he's kind of a douche. Like Justin Bieber is to a certain extent a victim of success. Uh, you know, he got way too popular, at way too young an age, way too popular, way too fast at way too young an age. Um, and that sort of thing does mess with your head. It absolutely does. Like it totally messes your brain up. Um, but he's still done a lot of douchey things. What do I think of Bill Cosby? I think Bill Cosby is a rapist. I think he's a horrible human being. Shannon, yes, I am an atheist. Okay. Good night, Michaela. Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider. Shit, I'm blanking on which shows Dan Schneider was. OJ Killer's wife. Yeah, I'm. I also think OJ is guilty. Nickelodeon foot fetish guy. Okay, he sounds creepy. He definitely sounds like a creep. Lana, sure. Documentary buck breaking. Never watched it. Casey Anthony. Probably guilty. Um, Casey Anthony. Yeah, probably guilty. Solution to obesity. Sorry, had to sneeze. Cow and chicken. I never watched it, but I was aware of it. Alana. I mean, I'm an atheist. So, yes, I believe they're wrong because I don't believe that hell exists, nor do I believe that heaven exists. I believe that when we die, and that's it. So, I don't think anyone is going anywhere. We just cease to exist. Thoughts on Judaism? I mean, it's a good religion. I have no notes on Judaism. Today I try. I don't always do it in time, but I try. Will you be happy with what you accomplished in the day? Nope. Not right now, at least. Pinky in the Brain? Yeah, I love Pinky in the Brain. Thoughts on Muhammad having child brides? Uh, that is something I disapprove of, for sure. I get that it wasn't as unusual then as it is now. I don't think it was necessarily particularly common back then that I'm aware of. Well, I could be wrong about that. I haven't exactly I haven't exactly studied the history of child brides, so I don't know how common it was back then. Um, there was definitely an element of it being, a product of his time type of deal. But even so, yeah, I disapprove of people 1,000 years ago having child brides. I am going to make. I know that's a controversial stand. I know it's a bold stance to take, going out on a limb here as being opposed to child brides even 1,000 years ago. Do I watch documentaries? I should watch more. I should watch more documentaries, but I don't know. Like that that was the joke, Heather. When I post a child drag queens. It depends. What I'm opposed to, like, I'm not a fan of uh like child beauty pageants and shit like that. I feel like there is a I feel like a lot of parents really push their kids too far, too much with a lot of that shit. Like if a kid If a kid wants to dress like a drag queen, sure, whatever. I don't give a shit. Kids are weird. Let them do whatever they damn well want. But but I do think that there is a tendency on parents to get super involved in that sort of thing. Opinions on family vlogging? I don't know. I suppose I'm not a fan of parents monetizing their kids either. Some drag queens have said that they're not for children. Oh, a lot of drag queens are definitely not for children. Why did the super straight movement fall apart? Because it was a ridiculous thing. The super straight thing, it was ridiculous. All right, buy cans of Coke. Like it was always stupid. How long have you been unemployed? Year. Been around a year now. Do I like spaghetti? Yeah. Yeah, I like spaghetti. Depends on what kind of sauce is used and all that, but yeah. Did I miss the routine of a job? Um, Maybe a little bit. That is my roommate's smell. It varies. Would I ever go vegan? Hell no. I like meat way too much. Will I ever work again? I hope so. I hope I'm able to get my shit together enough to actually start applying for jobs again, and actually get accepted at one. I'll probably continue YouTube even after I get a regular job. I can do it. It's harder than it seems sometimes. Just don't apply to. Of course not. Ew. I would never want to work at a daycare. Ugh. Dealing with little kids all day. Ew. I cannot imagine a worse job. Kind of job am I looking for? I'd prefer to work at a library. Any advice for returning to work after having children? I've never had kids, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, That's a bullshit framing of it, Alana. Working in chapters. I have applied at chapters. Didn't get it. Will I ever travel to Scotland again? I hope so. I want to get back there. I'm very close, honestly. I'm very close because that was a deeply transphobic um, way of phrasing my position. Retail place, I was saying, yeah, I don't know that I want to work retail. Leah Thomas and Thomas, right? Thomas or Thompson? Leah Thomas. Leah Thomas isn't really dominating women's swimming. She's doing well, absolutely. But there are cisgender women who are still every bit as good as she is. Should they be allowed to compete with cis women? Yes. Sleeper? I mean, those women couldn't compete with the cis women who were better than them either. Baby shortage. I don't think Canada does have the baby formula shortage. Um, in fact, uh, certain certain trade rules that were put in place under Trump mean that the U.S. cannot import baby formula from Canada. Whatever, Alana. I know there was one study that found that trans women, when they transitioned, had a drop in performance that was equivalent to the difference in performance between cis men and cis women. Chelsea, yes. Always pushing the that's fucking bullshit, Dandy. Just keep pushing those fucking goalposts back. No. Let trans kids go on puberty blockers. Let trans teens start hormones. They know who they are. Let them be. They know who they are. Let them be who they are. That is fucking offensive, Sleeper. That is a shitty, offensive thing to say. Denise, yes, they do. They know who they are. What's up, John Bolden? Denise, and yeah, by the time they actually start on any sort of medication related to transition, they are that sure. They really are. Because they have already spent years thinking about it. Some teachers pushing for a safe zone closet where kids can change to different clothes once they come to school. And I'm totally down with that. I'm totally fine with that. Exactly, Jesse. Like the kid has to go through counseling. They have to talk to doctors. They have to be, and the doctors make sure that the kids are absolutely certain that it's what they want. But I think it's problematic that folks who decide to detransition are largely shame. Yes. Um, it is a shame. It's also a shame that detransitioners get used by transphobes as a cudgel against the trans community. It sucks from both ends. Detransitioners get have it rough from both sides. Do I think the current trendy thing? Nope. It is not a trend. Detransitioner is valid, absolutely. And there's a lot of trans people who will say the same thing, that detransitioners are valid. A lot of trans people will say that those people are doing what they believe is best for them. One thing that's worth noting, the majority, vast majority of people who detransition aren't actually doing it because they regret transitioning. Most of them, the vast majority, are doing it because of social pressure. Don't think it'll be hard with children. Uh, no indications of that. Give me a second here. Want to see if I can find the study I remember hearing about. So give me a couple more moments here. So this article talks about the study that I remembered reading about. That said, there do seem to be other studies that go against it. So it's one of those things where definitely more research needs to be done, for sure. Um, Shout out to Lemon's friend Blooper. Never watched Blair White now. It links to a study. Like the article links to a study. It's not a fucking trend, Alana. Suggesting that transitioning is a trend is offensive. My Little Pony video? I don't know, probably not. Fuck you, Laura. Do I like plants? I mean, I'm fine with plants. I trust parents and everything except this issue. I mean, I don't trust parents with everything. Like it's also important to remember that parents are different. There are there are kids who do not feel safe talking about this sort of thing with their parents. Okay, good night. I saw your comment before, Laura, and I'll repeat. Fuck you. Your parents are clueless? Yeah. Candace Owens? Ugh. I would disagree with her being smart. Hey, Dave Watson. Thing is, not all parents do have their kids' best interests at heart. Most do. You know, most parents do have their kids' best interests at heart, but not all. And even those kids who do know that their parents have their backs, I feel like it is important for when I realized I was female, a few years back, probably around like 5 years ago. It's probably about honestly probably a good 10 years ago that I became curious about the idea, and then about 5 years ago, I was like, oh, I can't. Yeah, I definitely am. But anyway, so yeah, what I was saying is I feel like it is important for. I'm a very passive person, Laura. I'm not. I don't do stuff. Yeah, I do feel like it is important that children have places outside the home where they can feel safe. Even if they feel safe at home, it's important that they also have places outside the home where they can feel safe. It's important that they have people they can talk to when they don't when they don't feel like they can or don't know how to talk to their parents about something. Denise, no, I'm still not attracted to men. I have no attraction to men. Kitty? Eh, I wouldn't really feel offended. Allie, I mean, it's for medical terminology as a way of not excluding trans and non-binary people. How many times today have I said I'm not attracted to men? One. Only once today. Yeah, it was. I don't know. Like it was just. At some point, I sort of had like a curiosity about what it'd be like to be a woman, and there's sort of a. How many super chats? Very few, Curly. I haven't gotten many super chats. Okay. Good night, bro. Good night, Boomer. I mean, once I really start transitioning, I will shave. So yeah, a few years ago, like I sort of had sort of a it was just it was idle curiosity, I didn't want to be a woman. It was just idle curiosity, you know. Yeah, you know, people get curious. I'm sure. I'm not the only guy, surely, who's got that idle curiosity about it. Um, and then a few years ago, but I think it was about 5 years ago, maybe even less. I feel like about 5 years ago, but it might have actually been even less. Um, I was reading. I had backed Boomer. Thank you very much. Treat yourself, night y'all. Thank you very much, Boomer NASA. Very generous. So yeah, as I was saying, I had backed this uh, anthology on Kickstarter of short stories by and about trans people. And as I was reading it, the thought just sort of entered my head like, you could do this. And it was just one of those things where it's like that thought just wouldn't get out of my head. No, I did not get a boner. It wasn't a sexual, like, it wasn't a sexual feeling. It was just like, you could do this. I was like, but I don't want to be a woman. Don't you? Oh, oh man, I don't want to be a woman. Don't you though? Like it was just one of those things where the thought, like the realization hit me that it was something I could do. And that thought, propaganda. It wasn't propaganda. Well, you are wrong, sleeper in travel. They're not fetishizing you. So yeah, it was just, and like I did for months, I sort of refused to admit to it. But it was okay. Good night, Denise. But yeah, there's just kept saying, like, it just, that voice in my head just kept saying, nah, you do want this. Larcy, I mean, can't guarantee no fetishization, but the overwhelming majority of trans women aren't fetishizing women. It's simply that they know they're not men. AGPs. That is that is largely a myth created by transphobes. I mean, I mean, yeah, it was just like the realization that yeah, I would be happier as a woman, that I should be a woman. Um, I think a little bit surprised, but they didn't make a big issue of it. Uh, no, Meg, the experience is different for different people. For a lot of people, like I've seen plenty of anecdotes of trans people having similar sort of, oh, this is something that I can actually do aha moments. You know, it's for some trans people, yes. For some of them, it is from the moment they have a concept of self. Um, Again, Allie, it's different people have different feelings. I can only talk about my experiences. Do I like pork ribs? Yeah, yeah, I like pork ribs. When we allow medication, I'm pretty sure I see medication advertised on Canadian TV, or at least I used to back when I still had cable. Brother, I don't have friends. Anecdote. I mean, they're not meaningless when we're talking about what people experience. What do I think of apes in space? Pretty scary concept. Yeah, I mean, I should make some friends, but Lexi, I mean, I need those things as well. Like, I need those things as well as transitioning. And just for the record, I'm not saying that transitioning will fix my depression. My depression is as I say every goddamn time this topic comes up, my depression is unrelated to my gender. My depression is a hereditary thing. Runs in my family. It's I just have the bad brain. Um, Stopping me from transitioning. The fact that I am a very passive person who doesn't like to actively actively seek anything. I'm gonna try. Fetish is not a big part of being transgender. I have not seen Hernandez. No, I know that life is harder for women. Like it's objectively speaking, life is harder for women. You know, the wage gap is a real thing. Um, there have been studies that have found that if a woman speaks 25% of the time in a conversation, she's seen as speaking the majority of the time. Like there have been studies that have found that people think that women actually talk more than they actually do. Um, they have to deal they have to deal with perverts. You know, back when I was working customer service, I never had to worry about some dude jerking off uh, while I was taking a call. Um, I don't know how to do a chi ball swampy. I don't have chi. Am I worried that people are jerking off watching me right now? Well, I am now. I don't care. If people want to masturbate to me, that's fine. I don't mind. Not functional, no. Not a functional sword. Kitty, I mean, my attitude is that people in prison who commit abuse should be just kept apart from the general prison population. When they start an OnlyFans, probably not. Not something that I'm inclined to do. I think child predators easily get in prison. I mean, like I said, this is one of those situations where my personal feeling is yes. You know, child predators, let them be shanked. I'm not going to shed a tear. I have no issue with those people being murdered. But I also think, legally speaking, I also think that the law has an obligation to protect everyone, including them. Those people should. Um, I would argue that like putting sex offenders into like separating them from general population, it's not necessarily good for them. You know, people do need social interaction to be healthy. So if we're putting them, you know, if we're isolating, if they're being isolated, that is going to be bad for their mental health. But beyond that, no, Kitty, they are not. Why should they be kept apart? Because they'll be killed otherwise. And my belief is that the law needs to protect everybody. Um, there is like prisons have a legal obligation to keep the inmates safe, even the ones that we may not want kept safe. Prisons of solitary confinement. That's the term I was trying to remember. Yeah. Brother Mentis? Yes, absolutely. Prison is used way more than it should be. The law should protect the innocent. Well, yes, the law should protect the innocent foremost, but the law has to protect everybody. And prison is a punishment. Being removed from society, that is a punishment. But again, it's they need they still need there's still a legal obligation to protect them, to prevent them from being harmed while in prison. What's wrong with punishment? Again, I mean, they're getting sent to prison. That's the punishment. They're removed from society. I would disagree that I'm being soft. Again, my personal feeling is fuck them. You know? I'm not going to feel bad if they die. You know, just my personal emotional stance is sure, kill the bastards. I don't give a shit. But my personal emotional stance differs from my legal stance. Feel bad if they're subject to the same crimes in prison. On a personal level, no. On a legal standpoint, I would think that I would feel that that is wrong. VL, I mean, I'm just like, I don't support the death penalty. What person would a non binary person go to? That would probably depend on them. Um, I'm not sure. Has that come up? I imagine that it would be down to that individual. Um, I mean, because those are different things. I won 34.58. I would take my small win. 34.50. Win's a win. Would I fight Chantel in a kiddie pool for $10? Nah. Joe, you're right. I haven't. Um, One thing I will note is that there are people who have gone through that stuff who have similar who have made similar arguments to what I'm making. Prison should just be a gladiator pay-per-view that has no skate. I mean, maybe. Worked for the Romans. But as long as the prison arena is full of bankers, hell yeah. Get those white collar criminals into that arena. There are some innocent people in prison. Yeah. And a big part of why I'm opposed to the death penalty is that there are innocent people who've been the victims of it. What is Chantel's greatest quality? I don't know. White collar criminals probably can't fight for shit. Might be boring. I mean, the entertainment is in seeing them try. Don't fucking put words in my mouth, Elaine. I didn't fucking say that, and you know I didn't say that. Fuck you. Do I like Bill Gates? Nope. I don't like billionaires. A lot of white collar criminals are pitted. A few here and there. Anyway, it's been over 3 hours, so I think I'm actually going to end the stream here. Do I believe in Big Pharma? They are. Pharmaceutical companies are often rather evil. Actually, Joe, I have seen cisgender women with similar views. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna end the live here, and as always, it's been a thing. And so have a nice night. Bye.